Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome. Please donate. Name your charity, I'll donate. What's up everybody? Good morning, welcome back. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope everybody's ready to smash it this week. I think let's get into it, eh? Had a pretty eventful weekend with the whole Russia story, but died out very quickly and is really not holding any weight here in the markets. Bullish or bearish? No bias. So higher time frame, we are bearish here. Let's just remove all of this. Zoom out here to, we could start on the weekly. Just do a quick overview on the weekly, daily, so on. So a quick higher time frame breakdown. On the weekly, alright, we have closed below that 1940 zone. So we had that daily candle finally close below that range last week Tuesday. We had a nice push there down to about 1910, and now more importantly, your weekly candle is closed below that range as well. So after being in a range for nearly 4 weeks and now finally breaking out, I would expect this weekly candle to continue driving down here. And you know, looking at this huge candle from March 1866, I know that's a candle there with no bottom wick. Just looking at the weekly, you know, makes a lot of sense to come down into 1866. Based off the weekly, I mean, look, we could come down to 1810. Maybe not in a week, but we could slowly start trending that direction if the dollar remains strong and if there's no new fear, uncertainty, doubt. No new FUD. Alright, so touching on the daily, Friday we did have this bullish candle closure, but very weak body and a bigger top wick. So that wick looks like it could be basically the retest of that range, which I wanted to see us retest that range again this week, but we might not. That could have been the retest of 1940, just shy of 1940, and we could just continue trending bearish here. Now, I was also looking at the 8-hour candles for some time. I haven't looked at them in a while, but here it's a little bit tricky. You know, these candles just printing side by side. On the 4-hour, we can see that we have closed bearish there on the previous 4-hour. So closing bearish on the 4-hour, coming into London open or pre-London, and just being so bearish here, having had this pullback already, I think it makes sense for us to continue moving down. Although we are still in this pullback phase, and you know, right now you can see this candle does have some volume to the downside. But if we weren't seeing that downside volume, there is room to pull back further. So I'm open to those buys as well, if the structure is lining up correctly. So you can see here, I've got buys and sells marked up above this range. But the way I'm approaching it is I'm not just taking the closure above. I'm looking for a break and retest. So basically waiting for new structure to form, waiting for a new high to form, and then basically find support and then look for those bars above there. And it's going to be the same story with the sells here. By the looks of things, we've closed with no bottom wick on this 30-minute. So I would actually like to see a retest of this range before looking for these sells. We've got 30 minutes until London open. I know we've had the closure below, breaks below that previous candle. We may just drive here and fill this clean traffic. But I'm in no rush here, 30 minutes until London open. I would like to see that that pullback and see what happens. So we can see here DXY, last week we were tapping into that 102 level and we saw a nice rally off of there, and we've had a pullback now, basically retesting this resistance right here. So it looks good to move up here on the DXY. Overall, it looks like we are seeing a stronger dollar, which, like I say, with no new fear, uncertainty and doubt, that does support the idea of those gold sells. So as of late, I've been having a little bit of a hard time with my normal closure below, and you know, my normal setups where I'm looking for that closure below, let's say the range here, and then taking the sells. I found that price is coming back a lot and actually giving a nice pullback and retest. So until, you know, we get like really nice volume, I'm going to be looking for these pullbacks, and there are going to be times where you don't get the pullbacks. I actually remember there was one day where I took a impulse entry and it ran really nicely, and someone came into the chat, said always wait for the retest. And on that particular occasion it was actually laughable because I was setting up like 50 pips in the trade. I actually think it was here. I'm pretty sure it was this day. So this was a pre-London trade, and you know, like I say, a guy came into the chat, always wait for the retest. And you know, I said this is part of my plan. I don't need to wait for the retest if it's not in my plan. And I've been looking for these kind of moves lately and they're just not happening. And like I say, you're often getting that pullback and retest. So making those adjustments, you know, it's not like a new setup or anything. There are setups that I would take, but just being a little bit more patient and starting to favor them a little bit more with the market conditions that we've had. And from time to time, you're not going to get that retest, but I suppose it does pay to wait here. And you can see later in the day we did get the retest. So sometimes, you know, if I am waiting for a retest, I might not get the trade in London session, but the ideas are generally still going to be valid through like Asian close, pre-New York and New York open, let's say. So yeah, just something that I was having a look at over the weekend and backtesting a little bit as well, waiting for those pullbacks. Like I say, just making those adjustments. I always say in trading, like in the beginning, you're going to try a whole lot of different things, see what's working for you, and then cut out everything else. So right now I'm just honing in on what is working, and cutting out what I'm having difficulties with at the moment. What's up, Jared?
Hey, no, sorry, I muted because I was making background noise during my coffee. It's not background. Remember last time, like, yeah, we're breaking down the house there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we even saw that the difference in that breaking retest entry last night. That even though the impulse could be valid, but sometimes you are going to sit down avoidable. You are going to sit through avoidable drawdown, which is also
Mm.
another aspect to it. Yeah, last night's backtesting session was actually hella informative.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like even if you don't even come in with a plan for the day and you just wait to see this setup, you'll be fine. Like on Friday, I was looking at these cells. I missed the cells. It didn't really line up the way I wanted it to. But I know that some guys took it and it did give a nice push here. I said be careful of this level. This was like a 4-hour support. And, you know, we actually ended up finding support there. So, like, this wasn't really the way I was looking at it on the day. But you've actually had this pullback setup. You still had it there. So if I just come into the day and said, okay, I'm just going to wait to see this, you know, that was clean. Wasn't in a rush to take buys on Friday, just due to us being so bearish. And then you got it again right here. So I did say, if I were to look for buys, it would be above this resistance at around 1917, and I would want to see a break and retest. It's just so clean. Look at that. Break, retest. Wasn't really in my trading time, only set up at like 12:30.
It's going to separate the patient from the impatient.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I've been impatient. You know, these like closures above or closures below level with clean traffic have worked for a long time. But like I say, I'm just having difficulty with it lately. So I need to make some adjustments.
But we've seen as of late that the pre-London volume isn't coming in the way it did.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, now and then you're getting like 100 per pushes pre-London, but I mean, even today, look here, there was nothing. Nothing. And if you were forcing something thinking that volume was coming in, you know, you would have had a hard time. So that's probably where I've been at, but now I need to, like I say, make those adjustments. Do you hedge at all? No.
What? You don't edge.
Bro, please analyze GJ. So GJ, for me, I'm actually moving away from GJ. My focus just has been mainly on gold lately, and I don't know. Just don't really care about GJ anymore. Like this year, I slowly started to move away from taking trades on GJ so frequently and just trying to take advantage of it when there was a clear trend or fundamental catalyst in play. But even now, it's like, you know, even when we had this nice clean trend, I don't know, I just wasn't really interested. And it's just like in my mind telling me, okay, you know, I only really need one pair. And, you know, they say less is more. I say less is more. I don't think I need GJ, to be honest. But what I'm going to do is for the members, I'll still break down GJ and I'll break down some other pairs for the members. Once or twice a week, I'll send through a detailed breakdown of these pairs. But personally, I'm moving away from GJ. And this year I haven't taken a lot of trades on GJ, and most of them have been good. But it's almost like a distraction from gold. So GJ here just ranging quite low volume. Overall, still very much bullish. So breaking out of this range to the downside, you do have clean traffic moving down, but just be careful. Careful chasing these sells. You might find that you just get a liquidity grab here at London, maybe even come down to like 182, and then you just continue bullish. So yeah, personally I would avoid the sells, even though it looks like it may start to move down. I would not be in a rush to take the sells. I would wait to see if we get that pullback into 182, or even come down into 181,500 and find support there to look for those bars back up to about 183. But yeah, right now this is a mess. If you do just want to play the low time frame ranges here, maybe wait to see how you close coming into London Open, and I suppose you do have some range down to 182. Just be careful with those sells. Breaks above 182,900, I'll just be looking for the continuation pars. So you can see closure below, nothing happened. So waiting for this retest, I think, is going to be a very good play here today. We do have 15 minutes until London Open, so anything could happen in 15 minutes. I think with the breakout setups, what I don't mind having a look at still is if we do get something like this. And these are the setups I'll probably be a little bit more aggressive on. But you get the candle close below, next candle closes weak bullish, and then next candle we break the lows. Those are setups that I would be a little bit more aggressive.
The drill was dropped.
Yeah. The draw was dropped. Tears of joy. Yesterday on Friday. What? So this week there's actually quite a lot happening. And like I say, the whole Russia thing is not holding much weight. But you do have this ECB forum, central banking forum, from Monday to Wednesday. Wednesday we actually have all of these central bank heads speaking in and around the same time. So definitely going to be an interesting week. Also remember it's the last trading week of Q2, so that'll be interesting. Ending off the week with core PCE. But yeah, I think this central banking forum is definitely going to be interesting. If you want to learn more about it or check it out, just Google it. ECB forum on central banking 2023, and you can see what's on the cards here. So we do have some speakers today. But yeah, I think Wednesday is going to be very interesting, where we have Governor Bailey, President Lagarde, Jerome Powell, and Ueda all speaking in and around the same time. Central banks, monetary policy, all very important stuff. GJ drop looks enticing. Um, 4 hour broke previous 4 hour low, but went up for liquidity and came down. How would you enter the trade if you were to take the trade? This trade, if I were wanting to take it on the break of this previous candle low, I would have liked to have seen a steeper top wick. But if you wanted to take it on the 15, yeah, it's tough. I would have liked to have seen a steeper top wick on that 30 either way. Otherwise, you would have just been doing the impulse entry on the break of previous 4 hour lows, which to me would have made sense. But like I say, just from reviewing over the weekend and over the last 2 weeks, I would probably avoided that trade today. Looks like we first broke the previous 4 hour low, went up, grabbed liquidity, and then came down. So very typical stuff. I suppose maybe that was like your pullback. But still, I would personally like to see a retest of this range. Oh, I actually see what you're saying. So we broke that low first, grab liquidity. How would I have entered that? Yeah, if I was there, um, if I was prepared to take the more aggressive entries, then yeah, probably on the break of that low. Just the impulse entry. So yeah, that is a trade that I would have probably taken in the past, but let's see how that would have played out today. See if it pays to wait for that pullback. What's up, Fred? Not a whole lot on the cards today. You do have some, yeah, I have a speaker here for the pound at 10.15. ECB president speaks later. Not gonna have a major impact on gold or GJ. Yeah, seems like maybe a slow day in terms of economic events. Can you usually take impulse trades? Yeah, I really like the impulse entries like pre-London. If the 4-hour candle is lining up nicely with the trend and you've maybe got a range, so this was kind of like the ideal scenario for an impulse entry. But like I say, just assessing how those have been going lately, I think it's probably wise to wait for the pullback, like the break and retest. Yeah, like this for me was a good setup for those impulse entries as well, where we were coming into pre-London and we had this range and we were just so bearish and had range down to these lows. For me, it made sense to take that impulse entry on the breakout of that range. And you'll see we eventually got the drop and actually just about came into these lows. So, you know, still not a bad trade, but it took some time. On the break of those lows, the drop wasn't immediate. We still essentially had like a retest on the lower time frame here. On the 15, you can see we had some sort of pullback before we had the drop. I don't know if you guys remember that trade.
Oh, yeah.
There's a gap at 1920 on the MetaTrader 4 broker. Looks like price wants to close that gap on gold. Yeah, I mean, let me have a look here quick. Okay, I want to. Makes sense, eh? Jeez. So gold gapped up.
Oh, what if that gap has anything to do with the anticipation from the Russian coup this weekend?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's not that bad.
But I mean, the fact that we haven't had any sort of like continuation yet and pretty low volume, I don't know. I don't think it's holding much weight.
Yeah, because it's also resolved as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. You know, I think there's tensions are still high, for sure. So maybe markets price in that possible, like the possibilities, what could happen. So maybe we come for that gap, find support here. We'll see what happens.
Getting a sneaky little pullback with before London open there.
Yeah. Slowly but surely. Okay, I think just give me a second, I'll be back now. London is about to open up, but I would like to see that pullback to retest this range and possibly even see like a bullish 15 and then a bearish 15 and take the sells on that bearish 15. So, you know, I'm looking at trades closer to like 9:30. We'll see how we open up here. Just give me 2 minutes. Follow the gap with London open, find support, and then look for the drop up. Possibly. But I think if we are coming down to fill that gap, I would want to wait for like an hourly candle close to find that support. Also wouldn't want to be taking bars too close to the 4-hour candle close. So at this point, safest bars are still above 1927.5. You might even want to see us come down into 1919, find support there, get the bars later in the day. Also the daily candle, well, because we opened up with a gap, you know, here on Rwanda, the daily has no bottom wick. So it really does make sense to come and get that bottom wick. So if we could get this pullback to retest 1924.5 first, we're going to look really good at that point to at least come down into 1921.
Yeah, I just personally don't want to let that gap affect us at the one-time GJ. I'm not going to let it be a bias decider.
Yeah. No, my trade ideas here this morning are staying the same for now. But I think it will be interesting once we do fill the gap to see what happens. Yeah, I'm not looking for this sales to like fill the gap or anything. It's obviously based on us just high time frame being bearish, 4-hour candle closing bearish coming into London Open. Still got this clean traffic here to the left, down to 1919.
Here's the start of the pullback.
Yeah, looks like it. Based off that previous hourly, you can see we do have nice volume to the downside. 30-minute also nice and strong there. Also closed below this support. So we might see that once we break the lows here, that you start to drive down. But I would want to, if we're not getting the pullback to retest this level, before breaking the lows, I would like to see this 15-minute close, like a weak bullish candle at least. So I'm either looking for this, something like that, or I'm looking for this 15 minutes to close like a weak bullish candle, like that, and the next 15 minutes take the sells on the break of the lows. I don't know how to trade on gap. Don't worry. Don't think about it. I know some guys have strategies on trading gaps, and that's fine. But personally, I've seen that if you just don't even think about it, you'll probably be better off. Just trade as you would. The nice thing about Orlando, sorry Jared, just saying the nice thing about Orlando is it doesn't even show the caps. you know, this is just clean traffic to the left. Whereas on another broker, you'll see that this is a gap. Yeah. What's up, Jared?
No, I was going to say it's a 50-50 event. Either it's going to get filled or it's not. There's no strategy that you really can implement behind it. Like, you can use it as, if your trade aligns, you can use it as potential management, but I wouldn't lose sleep tonight over the gaps today.
I think like gaps do generally get filled, but it's a matter of when. If you get stuck on the idea of this gap is going to get filled, and you just start piling in the sells, because you are so convinced this gap will get filled, you know, you may be in trouble. So waiting for this pullback, waiting to see a resistance formed, at that point, we're going to be in a much safer position to be taking trades to come down and fill this range. But if you just think, okay, you know, we're tapping this level, let me take sells, there's a gap to fill here. And then what happens when price just keeps moving up? And then the next thing you know, you're sitting at 2035. And then you only fill that gap on like Thursday. You know? Because if this is a support being formed here, for me it still just looks like a pullback. To retest this range. And I still just want to see a resistance forming on the 15-minute. But let's just say we keep moving up. We close back in this range. We move up, close back above 1927. Then there's range up to 1935. Maybe this was just a fake out. So we're waiting for this retest, you know, this is helping us to avoid this fake out. Because we're not just going to take the sells without the confirmations here. CGJ. Lovely. No seriousness. Yeah, it looks like London Open, like I say, could bring you down to 182. Such funky price action on GJ. But yeah, I would be careful of this being a liquidity grab. So if you're in the sells, does look good, doesn't make sense, just be securing along the way. That's all I can say. GJ short live, let's see. What's GJ, bro? I don't trade GJ. GJ short live, let's see. Oh goodness.
The cooler game.
The good. Good thing you didn't FOMO on that gold sell. Yeah, no, like I say, I mean, previously I may have taken the impulse sells on the break of that 4 hour. So like as you close there, basically, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't even know if I would have taken that. Coming into London Open, I would have waited either way. But yeah, we can see that waiting for some sort of pullback is definitely solid here. And then if we are closing back bullish, I don't know what's tracking here. Maybe my internet is slow.
I'm very convinced TradingView does that from time to time. I don't think it's your internet. I've experienced that as well.
Dude. Okay, so yeah, if the 30-minute candle closes bullish here, like this, then, you know, buyers are back on the table. This could have just been a fake out of that range, grab liquidity to continue up. The fact that we gapped up could potentially mean, you know, that there is some gold is wanting to move up here today. So we just grabbed liquidity here coming into London Open, and we've got this clean traffic above 1927. Just going to wait and see how the 30-minute candle closes.
But I'm relatively convinced TradingView does that thing like your internet is going out from something. I wish I really experienced it and thought, oh, maybe my laptop's slowing down, maybe I need to get a new laptop. I'm
Yeah.
glad you also experienced it.
No, I get it from time to time as well. And I mean, we're on Fiverr, so shouldn't really be an issue.
But mine got really bad at a stage, and then Discord was also acting very, very weird. So I legit thought it was my laptop. And then I took it to a laptop repair shop and he said, no, all is good. There's nothing wrong with your laptop.
Yeah, Discord is a problem.
Dude, Discord's the cookie monster, bro. Yo, that thing fucks your laptop up, yeah. But if you get the paid Discord,
Nah, even the paid one. I don't know.
Nah, I'm ready because if I send the link, I'll join our Discord.
Oh, is that what you're trying to say?
Like, oh, goodness. Yeah.
I thought you talk about like paying for Discord Nitro.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say Nitro, bro.
I
don't know.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I think it'd be worth it if it was, they said to you, okay, here's one fee, pay for this, you've got it, like Zoom. But they wouldn't be like, okay, here's a $5 fee, a $10 fee, and then you have to buy $1 here and there, here and there. It's just so complicated. Like, tell me how much you pay. Stop adding these things later on. You need to buy boosts and
it's just such a complicated process. Yeah, if it were just a little bit more simple, like, hey, here's how much you pay, cool.
No.
Discord.
Hidden fees can catch you.
I mean, for now, I think we've got all we need. But yeah, it's like, it's literally just hidden fees. Because if you do an upgrade, then you like paying for those boosts, but you pay for them monthly. I don't know, it's just
I
such a
legit like this thing of
confusing like
system.
process, yeah.
I like the thing of, okay, give me the monthly fee. Can I pay for it yearly? Yearly, great. You only have to worry about it next January or next July. Cool.
Yeah,
But when it's these, oh, pay now, do this, do that, then you have to buy these boosts and stuff
yeah, no. Let's go gold. At least there's a bit of volume. Nice big candles.
Yeah.
Just want to see what sets up.
You still trading on a? Somebody asked in the chat. I see. Are you trading a prop firm or live? Are you trading both at the moment?
Mm.
Still with the copy trader.
Yeah. So what? Just based off the previous hourly, you know, there was a nice strong bearish candle there. Even the previous 4 hour was bearish. So I don't think sells are completely off the table here. If we do get a nice strong bearish 15. But yeah, right now looking like we've possibly found support right here. And if we break above 1927.5, then I'm looking at the buys. So I wanted the break below and the pullback. This is looking like the pullback, just pulling back a little bit deeper, which gold does sometimes. But like I say, if we're closing a strong bullish candle on the 30, then I think those sells are definitely off the cards. But you know, just look at the hourly. This could just be the top wick for the new hourly to continue moving down. So right now, direction is just a little bit unclear because essentially are just ranging here. So still waiting for basically a breakout of this range again. Broke out, broke back in. So just need to wait. Right, you must check out this indicator sessions. I know you know about it, but for when you're backtesting. Yeah, it's just kind of like kind of useful because when you're just flicking through candles, you know, you kind of can lose track of time sometimes.
No, it's just I really have to. Like I think I've got it with the time. I can also just see when the volume starts dying. That sounds weird, but you can see when they get full. I'm not in my section.
Yeah.
Just that you can really run through candlesticks there.
What are these dots on TradingView, bro? On the candles, I've always wondered. Do you have any idea?
What are you wondering?
These dots. If you click on the candles, there's dots that appear. I've never
Yeah,
quite understood what they are.
dots on the candles.
Yeah, can't you see here on the chart?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Um,
And they're so randomly dispersed. This one's at New York Open. Maybe it's... I don't know.
Google says these blue dots signifies the setup and making. At the same time, it tells you what to trade, what trade to take next, if next set of conditions are fulfilled. But what conditions is it outlining?
Yeah. Actually had a very similar movement on Friday to what we're seeing now. Had that pullback, found support, and then started to move up. Really around the same time as well. So very interesting. But yeah, I can't just be taking buys in the middle of the range. Doesn't make sense. Still want to see us breaking above 1927.5.
Oh, you know what somebody's saying these dots mean?
Yeah.
That there's a certain number of candles apart to help you keep track of how many candles have passed. I don't know how true that is. I'm on Reddit,
Yeah,
so I'm going
it
down a
looks
deep
like
dark.
there's a certain amount of candles apart. But wow, like so random. 12 bars.
The only explanation that makes sense here that I'm like, okay, I agree with that, is somebody saying that they're there to help with your EMAs. So when you've got estimated moving averages, then they're there to help you keep track of it. So if you have too many at once, it's not like a mess all over the show.
If it's a mess, just get rid of them.
Yeah, the big facts.
Alright, so moving up here on the 30, looks like we're about to close very soon. So this is a very nice support we formed essentially, but I would need to see us holding above 1927.5. So I may still be waiting to see what happens on the next 15. May even wait for the hourly candle. Bit tricky right now. But we've got this nice bullish volume. Looks good, we just need to clear this resistance. Waiting for a retest is actually solid, eh? Because if you don't get that confirmation for the sells, then you know you're invalidated before you even look at taking the trade.
Obviously, I'm gonna like also have a look at it, but I'm not completely gonna do away with the impulse entries because I think we have got good at it. It's just the time and place of it. And in the current market conditions, I don't think there's time and place. So when we start seeing these pre-session moves, because I found that impulse entries work the best when it's pre-session moves. That's when you're gonna get things looking great. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Like I say, for now, just to be a little bit safer with like the impulse entries, what I'm going to be waiting for is things like this, where you get that, you know, for instance, in this situation, where you get a week 15 bearish, and then the next, let's say it even breaks the previous candle lows, and then we come back up, break the highs. I like those setups as well. But yeah, just in London, when it's like, I've noticed lately it's coming back 80 to 90% of the time. And it's giving some sort of pullback. Here, after we've grabbed liquidity, we may not get that kind of pullback or retest that I want to see. We already broke previous candle highs here. And if we break the previous 4-hour high, we could be on our way. But like I said, I would like to wait for this 15-minute candle to close. You can see here on the 15-minute time frame, we still have this resistance right here. So we are still in a rejection area. So let's just be patient. Also looking for the break and retest on the bar. May not need to see like a full-blown break and retest here, but I would like to see this 15-minute, how this 15-minute closes. Because our 30 has just opened up So we'll see what the next 15 minute does. If we're closing something like that on this 15, and the next 15 breaks the highs, then we're gonna have a much cleaner trade. But I mean, if you got involved now and the next 15 wants to form a steeper bottom wick for the 30, it's a tough one, because I'm not having stop loss below the previous candle here for like 60 pips, and I'm not a fan of using current candle lows either. Suppose you could use the previous 15, but yeah, I would like to see us actually form a steeper bottom wick on the 30 basically, or just see this 15-minute candle close above this resistance and hold above here, because this wasn't the most convincing close above resistance. You can see now we've already come back here. This is actually something we saw twice yesterday in that backtesting session, Jared. Something very similar to this.
Yeah, in the backtesting session, I actually got reports out in the initial impulse, and then we discussed that whole idea. And then it moved up very, very nicely. I got taken up on like 2 pips, and then it just ran. It ran pretty well, then it would have been a 3 for 3 station.
But yeah, I mean, if you were taking these buys now, the stop would be below this 15 here. And then this is something that, we see quite often. So yeah, something like that on the 15 would also be beautiful. If we break this high again, that just shows there's a lot of volume, and we'll probably continue to drive up here. But like I said, I want to wait for the 15-minute close. So if it drives, it drives. What are you laughing at, Jared? GJ Moulton.
Yeah, and then I went to look to expect GJ to get 170 down immediately 30 pips. Oh, goodness. Love YouTube, dude.
GJ Moulton.
It's basically ceasing to exist right now. That's what GJ is doing.
I don't know, melting just seems like an over-exaggeration.
Sure.
But yeah, coming down into 182 there. Careful of rejections there if you're in those cells. I love it.
I think some people on YouTube would explode if they saw the actual multi-beats in a chart there. Like that one day we saw gold drop from like 1900 to 1700.
Or that day that GJ like actually melted with the interventions. Yo.
Yeah, you.
Chat, let's just have a look at this quick. If GJ doesn't look like this, do not tell me that it's melting. Even that's baby stuff right there. This, bro. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
In a matter of like 2 days. No, wait, sorry. Allah. Yeah, man, just a couple days. Down 1,500 pips. From 165 to 150. But just this day alone, this was one day, I think. Down 1,000 pips. That's mad. That's insane. That's melting. Chad, if that's not happening on GJ, don't even say anything. Even if you see something like this, that's big. 600 pips in a 4-hour candle. Then you can say it's melting. You see this ruler right here on TradingView? Go measure. If it hasn't dropped 200 pips, do not say that it's melting. This could still just be like a liquidity grab. Yeah, nice reactions there to 182. $15-minute candle here on gold, still just hanging around waiting for us. So kind of you, gold. I don't go for those big swings, I trade structure. Okay, I think if you want to say that something's melting, then at least say what time frame you're looking at. So say GJ melting on the 1 minute time frame. You know what I mean? I'm American, I can say what I want. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's hilarious.
That comment wins.
I think lack of sleep
You
is getting
won
to
on
man's
YouTube
head.
today. Solid.
Yeah, well done, bro. You won YouTube today. What a rave.
So I've started spending a bit more time on Twitter. You're
Yeah.
putting the wild players and the American. You the first side somebody does want to hear their opinion, they bring up the Constitution and their rights of speech.
The Americans are wild.
There's a huge difference between, you know, we're not allowing you to speak and your opinion is invalid. I think it's a huge difference,
Oh
a fine line
yeah, that's
between the two.
facts.
Yeah, that the Americans went towards in school. But they told me I could say anything. Yo, what fucking know what's the day of cocky? Just keep quiet.
You can say anything, doesn't mean you should say anything.
Yeah.
Fast stop on the highs. Um, yeah, your 15's looking good, yeah. But that's up to you. I'm not really seeing what I want to see just yet, to be honest. I want to see what the next 15 does. I still want to actually see a steeper bottom wick on the 30. So if we see something like this, I drew it out just now. Or even if we just break the previous 15-minute low and then come back up and break the highs. You can see here the 15 still closed, respecting this resistance right here. So yeah, definitely going to hold off from that. Five-minute looks clean. It's kind of like the setup I was talking about on the 15 that I would want to see. But yeah, let's just wait here.
With that being such a significant level as of being at resistance and then being a 4 hour topic, bearish 4 hour topic, I think a closure above 28.6, not a bad shot.
28.6.
Yeah, it's basically the high of the previous four.
Yeah, I think as long as we
Just
can
go for
close
them.
above this, yeah, I think as long as we can close above these kind of bodies here. Greatest lands on earth. I always liked America, but like the last few years, things are not looking great that side. Guys are falling apart. Poor leadership. Yeah. Obviously, that's no offense to Americans. It's just the country as a whole. It's not what it used to be. And it's very sad. Very, very sad. With the way the 5 is looking, I think once you break these highs, you could start to push. But like I say, I wanted to wait for at least a closure above this level. So just wanting to see how this 15 closes. It'll also be the hourly candle close. So keep in mind the new hourly candle close could give us that retest of this level. So yeah, let's see. If we are closing nice strong bullish on the hourly, then next hourly I would like to see that bottom wick or just a pullback support formed. I think that will look clean. Because also just look at how much we've already moved up here. Just clean bullish candles. We've moved up about 60 pips. I think it makes sense to wait for some sort of pullback, which will most probably be on the new hourly candle.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the idea of this hourly closure bottom we can break the high. Oh, Wayne, I don't know if we should put on our tinfoil hats this early on a Monday morning.
You want to know what course the developed countries are on in the world? Go read up about the Universe 25 experiment. Oh, goodness.
That sounds like an experiment I want to reach at 12 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yeah,
We're down a deep dog rabbit hole.
on YouTube.
Jeez, dude. Start out with like, okay, I've got 10 minutes to kill. Let me watch some shorts. 3 hours later, you're like, is JFK still alive? Watching a video about it. Now, fair play, but you know what I mean, recipients here. That's I take everything with a pinch of salt. So I want to see what it's actually about before I'm like, okay.
Hectic. Yeah, it is very interesting. checking it out, but I'll read more up about it later. Can we take bars if we break previous candle high on gold? That's completely up to you, bro. If it suits your plan, then of course you can. You do have clean traffic to the left. You do have nice volume. You know, it would make sense to me if you did fill this clean traffic. And that's what I'm looking for, but I would like to wait for the hourly candle close, and I would like to see a bottom wick on the new hourly candle. So that's obviously just personal preference, the criteria I would like to be met for me to enter the trade. Because essentially the trade is there, it's there. I just need some extra boxes ticked, but maybe it ticks your boxes, and then of course nothing's stopping you. Maybe if you're not feeling completely confident, then stay out, see how it plays out, take some notes, and ask yourself, you know, how could you have executed on this? So there you're breaking those highs, but you got 5 minutes to go for the hourly candle close. So if you do push now, it's going to look really good. But like I say, it comes down to personal preference and what fits in your plan. What's up, Nico? Sounds like a Jarrod thing. Wayne, straight up, just yes sir, click that bar button. Suck.
That's a savage. That's what it is.
In 20 minutes, you have a speaker there for the pound. So anyone trading GJ, just be careful of that. Let's see what happened at 182. Jeez. GJ melting. Melting. Perfect tap into 182. Nice rejections. Like I say, guys, GJ is very bullish here. When you're so bullish like this, and you are in range like that, and you get a breakout to the downside, even though you have clean traffic, yes, the sells might make sense, but just beware that oftentimes these moves are just grabbing liquidity to continue on with the trend. So if you took the sells, I'm not saying that that was a bad idea. Good trade. I hope you secured something there at 182. But that looks like a liquidity grab to continue on up. And even if not, it's just chalked. Just back in the range.
You can see the divorce of GJ is going well. He's still checking in on it.
Nah.
Good ex-husband there.
Just making sure she's okay. think we're looking good, yeah. What are your other sources of income other than trading? Selling drugs. Uh,
Fucking hell.
well, the memberships, but there's not much coming in from the memberships, you know. I mean, once like the money's been split, it's like just enough to pay for basically my food for the month. So, you know, yeah, not a whole lot coming in from the memberships, but that's the only other real source of income for now. I would like to um, have a property or two by the end of the year. You know, this weekend, so um, it was my friend's birthday, and I went to the bar, and there was this girl there, and she just asked like, "So what do you do?" And I said, "No, I'm a drug dealer." And she says, "Oh, you really have the outfit for a drug dealer." Because I'm dressed in like knocked out, knock sweatpants, knock sneakers, whatever, whatever. And anyway, she's like, "No, but like really, so what do you do?" And I said, "Do you know Forex trading?" She says, "No, I don't really know drugs." I was like, "Oh fuck, never mind."
Yo, she's watching the stream this morning, trying to make some cash. They're taking the piss on me.
Yeah, Forex is a
Yeah,
drug. I
Forex
was
is a
actually
drug.
thinking the same thing when she said that. I was like, shit.
It's difficult to stop. Costs a lot of money to start.
Okay, so hourly candle close strong bullish there. You may just push up now and get that move to fill this clean traffic to the left. You may not get that pullback. You may not get a steeper bottom wick on the hourly. Sometimes that's going to happen where you do just drive up. But like I say, just looking at this, already seeing that we've pushed so far, I would like to see some sort of pullback and support formed if I am looking for buyers here. So I think that would apply, um, you know, as long as we're moving up here, I would like to see a support to take some sort of buyers. But for now, looks like this is possibly chalked. So I may need to wait a little bit longer. This is maybe a move you'll see like after Asian close, maybe on the new 4 hour, you get that pullback. And to be honest, guys, I'm not going to stick around here for the new 4 hour and wait for that pullback. So didn't get these trades above here. It wasn't really what I was wanting to see today. Like I say, could easily still get that pullback. Could get a nice retest of this area right here. And at that point, I would be very interested in the exact same idea that I'm looking for right now. So like I say, just
Yeah.
having a look at this, I think, I don't want to say it's a miss later on, and I'm not going to sit here the whole day. So I'll set some alerts. Guys, for the signal channel, if I do see the setup, I will send the signal through. You know exactly what we're looking at here. So still just seeing some pullbacks from these lows formed on gold. Got this clean traffic to 1935. And you do potentially have a little bit of FUD in the markets brought on by that whole Russia story. Our 4 hour candle here also broke the previous bearish 4 hour high. Didn't have enough volume to drive down. So that's the idea behind these bars here. Just waiting to see this structure, waiting to see that support being formed. And why is there no signal chat in the $60 membership? Because that's the standard membership. The premium membership is the standard and the signals together. You can have a look there on the Patreon and see what we offer. You should have seen it when you signed up. But anyway, guys, if you do want to check that out, the signals mentorship, we do have a 7-day free trial. So I'm still waiting for this setup. Like I say, I'll send it through to the signals if I see it. Cool, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining. Let's have a good week, guys. Starting off with patience and discipline here. It's going to be a good week. Let's get it. Cheers.
Hey.